Okay. Yes. Every time I reboot my computer, everything explodes. It's not a good time. Let me make sure that all of my other things are good here. Yes, we're good. We're good. And you know, every time I reboot my computer, I forget that it does this. I will make sure to make a note of this. Anyway, art. So, last time, I started wrangling the perspective I wanted to go for, and it is not there yet, but it's getting there. I do look forward to being able to fix up her face a little bit, but anyway, for the time being, I tried to do the pose a little bit myself so I could kind of figure out the twist in her waist here, and I actually realized that this leg pose is kind of uncomfortably hard, so I'm going to twist her foot around a bit, and hopefully that'll make it start to look a little bit more natural. I mean, that's not natural, but I know how to fix it. I'm going to keep the same general shape. I'm going to put it where, like over there, and we are going to see a little bit more of the side of her foot. Let me remind myself what the side of her foot looks like again. Once I scroll over and find it, there we go. Okay. So I'm just going to use this color for now. We're still mostly seeing the top, but we'll see a little bit of the side here. That's why I didn't really feel the need to change the angle or change the overall shape too much. I figured just doing this is fine. There we go. Let me push this down just a tad. Feet are still going to be kind of tiny. Okay. And then I want to take a look at some of the images that I found that kind of show this kind of perspective. And I will try to figure out her legs and lower body today. That is the goal. Can I figure out legs and lower body? It's just hard because a lot of the reference images out there involve like dresses and stuff, and that kind of obscures what the legs actually look like. Okay. But I think I found something that should work pretty well. Not exactly the same angle, but close. Alright. So I'll just work my way over. And that's something that I do find pretty useful to do. Just anytime that perspective is hard, just finding a quick reference, even if it's not in the same pose that I'm looking for. Like, I just found a stock image. Let me go ahead and save the little image that I found, so this way I can pull it up on screen here. And you can see just how different they are. That should be fine. Alright, and just in case, I'm gonna plop myself up here again while I go pull it up. So we're over here. Oh, I clicked the wrong button. There it is. Okay. Gotta come back down here where I belong, and here we go. So, yes. This is what I'm referencing. You can see these poses, not similar at all. But it does give me some idea of how the shoulders work, how to get legs underneath the hips like I was describing yesterday and all that. And the twist that I'm kind of putting in her waist is still gonna make things hard. But it's still giving me the kind of information I need. And I'm going to go back to looking at the top half again before I go to the lower half. I think figuring out the top half of her will help a lot. And just knowing what I know about necks with this kind of collar, I do not think this is that far off from how hers should look. So this tells me that I have the collar of her shirt, not quite right. Now the biggest difference, I can't draw on the reference in Krita, but is that I have this arm here raised really high, so this was gonna push the sleeve of her shirt here a little bit further onto her shoulder. So I think we'll see a little bit less of this side over here, but probably about the same amount everywhere else. So I just have this going a bit too high, and I should just pull it back. And most of the time, I don't actually like to draw with the reference right next to me. I like to flex the brain muscles and try to remember what I saw and put it down onto paper, only referencing the reference when I actually need it. And the main reason for that is just, how to say, I want to try to remember the image, because I feel like actually remembering the image will make it so that I can draw it again in the future. So I don't really like to put them side by side if I can help it. Like if I'm doing a straight up photo study or something, then, and I'm just literally copying it, yeah, maybe I'll put them side by side. But otherwise, if I'm just kind of using it to help me figure out proportions and other shenanigans, then, you know, I prefer not to have it on screen. But just so that this way you guys can know what I'm talking about, here you go. I'll leave it on screen. And the collar of Iofif's shirt is a little bit different, but I will just leave it like that for now. The goal here is just mastering this perspective, because it is hard. I picked a very hard pose to draw. It's okay. I am honestly having a great time. I have been wanting to be able to draw weird stuff like this for such a long time, and the fact that it's kind of coming together, it makes me very happy. So I'm gonna keep trying. So let me see. I think I'm gonna have to find another picture here, see if I can find one more from the side. Unfortunately, a lot of these ladies are crossing their arms, which is remarkably unhelpful for me, because it covers their legs. Okay, this is... Okay, yeah, this will give you some idea. And you can see that I am using multiple images here. I'll go ahead and save this one for you guys too, because, you know, why not? I'll go bring it up, so this way you guys can know what I'm talking about. Let me just come back up here. And I will pull this one up too. Okay, here we are. Up. That's fine. Okay. Get my arm in there. There we go. So yes. This is the next one that I'm kind of looking at here. So we'll put both of these ladies here, and because of what I was looking at, I was trying to figure out how this topward perspective kind of affects her chest. And I wanted to see if I had this sticking out in kind of the right direction, and I believe I do. And even here, I can see that it has the angle that I'm going for here with in the shoulders. I think mine is a little bit more extreme. So like this shoulder should be lower and this shoulder should be higher. If I'm going for what I have here. So let's go ahead and I'm going to redo some of that. But you can see that I am very much not getting a lot of this right the first time. And right now I am cursing the natural pose she's in and the fact that she has her hands on her hips, so that I cannot see it. Ah, the joy of trying to find photo references. And this is even one that I can't really look in the mirror to help me out, and it's very sad. It is so sad, you know. It would be incredibly nice to just be able to hop on over to the mirror and take a look, but I cannot properly view myself from above, unfortunately. Okay. So I'm just kind of looking through all of these pictures and figuring out what needs to change here. This sleeve is going to be hanging off her shoulder in the end, but for now, I'll let it hang out on her shoulder. Like it's going over. There we go. I think that's accurate. Looks pretty okay. Looks better than what I had. Okay. Now then, if I can figure out the side here. See, I specifically was looking for one like this because I wanted it at a little bit more of an angle. And, I mean, my pose is at much more of an extreme angle. But it's a start. Let me see if I can find one with her arm up. Because, I mean, this kind of pose definitely has room for a jumping for joy kind of thing, right? I think it does. I gotta say, though, hooray for stock photos. They make very convenient photo reference. Oh, yes, and here I am explicitly using a photo reference because I am trying to reference proportions. But it is actually not that unusual for me to use anime references too. Especially when I'm trying to reference stylistic things. And frankly, sometimes even when I am trying to reference proportions, I will take a look at anime images, because I do find them helpful. Because sometimes anime makes proportions a little bit weird. I mean, nobody in real life has eyes this big, but they look fine. So sometimes I do need to reference actual anime proportions in order to draw what I want. So I personally think it is normal to also reference things in the stylization that you're going for. Back in Inktober, when I was trying to learn a little bit more about pen and ink drawings, you can bet that I looked at a lot of ink drawings. A lot. Like, seriously, I would scroll through whatever I could find for literal hours to kind of understand techniques and what they did, and I think that it taught me quite a lot about how to make my own style that much more interesting. Which, part of me is a little bit sad that I don't think I can pull off that style with this kind of pose here. Still looks a little awkward, doesn't it? Her shoulder's broad now. I need to figure out what to do with this arm is the thing. Let me try to define the shoulder again. And I will probably flail at this for a while. This is still pretty difficult for me. Okay, so we got an arm here. I'm going to invert the colors just so I can differentiate between her body here and her arm there. And this ear is like, I don't know, not correct, and it's kind of throwing me off here. Does that even make sense for her ear to be like that much on her shoulder? Do I just have this shoulder way too narrow? I think I do. Okay, let's do that first. So yeah, even based on what I see here, it does seem like this arm or this shoulder needs to come out a little bit more. Okay, and then I have some stray pixels over here. It's probably part of the head then. Sure is. Okay. So before I do any shenanigans with where the arm itself is going to connect, I am going to perfect her shoulder a little bit. So for that, I want to know where the top of the shoulder is, and then where the arm itself is going to connect. You know, it's coming out towards us, so it's going to be something like that. So I'll just draw it like that for now. In terms of value, this makes absolutely no sense. But you know, that's fine. I'm just kind of exploring around, figuring out where these things need to go. And I probably just had it a little bit overly foreshortened or something. That is definitely believable. So I'm just taking a look at her shoulders here. So for hers, she would have the kind of the ball here, and it comes down. You know. Well, more like this if I was gonna go for the same sort of pose, but I am not. But still, nonetheless, it's... Let me hide her shirt a little bit. I will draw the shirt back in that area once I'm a little bit more confident with where the shoulder itself is kind of coming out. Because you can see that on both of these, we basically don't see the neck. But here, I actually do see a little bit of neck here. So I am wondering... I think the angle I'm going for is a little bit more like this one. It's a little bit more extreme, where we basically don't see her legs. It's like that's what I'd like to do, but what I've actually drawn so far is a bit more like this one, where we see a little bit of leg. So we'll see how that works out. Maybe I should go figure out the legs then. Okay. We'll just leave that floating out in space, it's fine. Let's go back to the legs. Okay. So first things first. I changed my mind. I don't like what I did there. So I'm going to redraw it. And here on both of them, I do not actually see any of her heel, which I find a little bit surprising. But that is the value of good reference. Let me see, what kind of shape is her shoes again? They're like super round, right? Oh yeah, super round. You're super duper round. I actually kind of like the way that I drew this one. I think this one's looking pretty alright. Kind of moving in the right direction too. Let me just make the toes slightly rounder. And strictly speaking, we really shouldn't see anything like this, like that little divot that I have there. But, hell, I mean, for one, it does not exist on her shoe. For two, we don't really see the bottom of her foot like that. But I'm gonna leave it there. just so that this way I can know roughly where her heel is, and that'll help me. Okay. Let's take a look at her leg here. She even has one leg up, like I'm going for here, just, not in the same way. Not to the same extreme. But I can see the back of her leg there. And we can see the way the shorts kind of wrap around her leg here. So, if these are shorts, then they're probably going, like, halfway down her thigh. So this will be like the halfway down the thigh moment. And it looks like they're fairly tight. I can see on the one that's raised here that it's sticking on there pretty well. Maybe not like ultra skin tight or anything, but still not bad. And then I have one kind of stylized reference that I'm looking at. Okay. So, this is the leg that I'm currently concerned with, and there's no way I'm going to be able to get this foot right until I get the kind of leg above it right, so I'll start there. And then with the way that I have this drawn, even if her leg is twisting a little bit, we still mostly see the side of it. So I will draw it like that. Leg facing this way. So this is the side, this is the front. I might need to switch the shading on that. I don't know yet. I'm not quite sure how I want this to be lit. I mean, I have some idea, but mostly just that the light is coming from above, as you might expect, because that's normally how light works. Actually, that is a point of the way lighting tends to work in things. And just because normally when we think of light, we think of it coming from, like, the sun, which is above us. And so we kind of have a view that light coming from above is normal. To the point that when we see light coming from different angles, like, for example, from below, it actually looks really creepy. And we intrinsically feel like something is wrong, and that's why somebody holding a flashlight under their face makes them look spooky. It's kind of similar to Uncanny Valley effects. It's pretty cool. The human brain is really interesting. I haven't had the brain power for it, but I have this article about doing brain scans on amateur chess players versus grandmaster level players, and the differences there. And I am looking forward to actually being able to read it. I am just trying so hard. I'm gonna turn this into a square. You know, when in doubt, turn things into squares. But honestly, the fact that I'm making my life hard here is definitely related to why I haven't had brain power to do stuff like that. I'm okay with this though. Art is great. And I would really love to learn how to do these things. Okay, we're gonna let her leg still twist a little bit that way, so it's gonna, like, rotate around like she's spinning on her heel. I think that'll look really cool if I can pull it off. There's still some part of me asking myself, okay, what are you gonna do if you can't pull it off? And frankly, I'm not too bothered by it. I'm actually not. If I'm still not quite ready, then that's okay. Wish I could see more of her ankles, but that rising leg is actually kind of in the way, huh? And it's funny because I can tell that she's not really lifting up her legs. She's just kind of leaning on one side, just putting most of her weight on this foot on the ground. Whereas the other one is only slightly raised. So it's not exactly what I'm going for here. Actually, you know, while I'm thinking about it, can I rotate this foot just slightly? Cool. This leg really is looking a lot better. I don't think it's entirely correct yet. But I'm feeling a little bit better about it. Just gotta figure out what the heck to do with this leg, man. I am still just fully in embrace flail mode, and I would like to be a little bit less flaily, you know? Let's maybe pull the waist back a little bit. Okay, yeah, I think I know what I need to do. Let's go ahead and hide the leg for a moment. Once again, we're gonna become more square. Gotta hide the other leg for a second too. See, this is why I didn't name all the layers yet, because I'm still not sure if this is how I'm gonna keep them. I don't know. It's fine. I'll figure it out. Let's push this underneath her. I think I know what I'm doing. I think. I have a vision. I feel like every time I've said that, things have gone horribly wrong, but it's okay. What's life without a little adventure, right? Who says you need to travel to faraway places to have an adventure? Just try to draw a weird perspective, and your life will be full of adventure. Yeah, I see here, and then the hips kind of come out a little bit. Push your tummy in just a little. Try to get a little bit of tummy here. Okay. Now then, let's try to get the hips coming out a little bit. I'm just gonna sculpt this with the liquify tool. Still want to push this underneath her. But nonetheless, I do want some signs that her hips are coming out a bit. So make this part a little thicker. There we go. See, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it. Then how do the legs come out? How do the legs come out? So yeah, you can see that here, I mentioned this last time, that when the perspective gets really extreme, things get really round. And you can kind of see that here on her leg here, where that's very round. The shirt, perhaps rounder than you might expect for this kind of cut. Same here. This one seems a lot more straight, actually, which I'm very surprised by. Okay, so how the heck do legs work? Let's see, here... This is probably a little bit more accurate to what I am trying to draw. So I see the side is here, like the light is... It's hitting this side of her leg and not this side. So I can see that this is the side of her leg So the front is gonna be like over here. And is that enough? I don't know, I feel like it's still a little bit short, maybe? Let me see, where's the knee gonna go? That might also help me. Because the knee is like a little bit wider. So I'll just try to put a little indication of knee here. The reason that I have the dark here is not because I'm trying to shade things. It's just because I find things easier to see when they are made out of light, as opposed to lines. So I'm using shadows more or less to just kind of help me see what I'm going for here. To help me sculpt things into place. Okay. Let's attach this part of her leg now, and I can see that the shin kind of has, or the calf muscle kind of has the appearance of coming out above where her knee is. Like if you have the knee, the bottom of the knee, like on this arrow here, and you run that arrow all the way across, you can see that the calf muscle here where it connects is higher. So that might mean something like that. And then I just connect them somehow. It's okay, we'll figure out that black magic in a second. We'll figure out that black magic in a second. And then a foot. Feet are larger. I'll go ahead and kind of shape it like her foot, just so that this way I can reference the image a little bit better. I am not sure if this is the shape I will keep, but you know, honestly, it's looking pretty alright, actually. Yeah, that shape's actually looking pretty alright. I do kind of want her to be slamming her heel into the puddle of paint there. So it might change shape a little bit, but, you know, I'll leave it there for now. And I think I want to keep a similar idea for this thigh, on why this foot is so much larger appearing than her calf muscle here, and that's because we're seeing it directly from above. So, whereas the leg, if we draw this in square form, it's doing kind of this triangle shape, right? But a foot, we're still seeing it from above. So it's keeping its general shape, because the leg is just highly in perspective here. Highly. And so we're seeing, if there were cross sections, we'd see the top of like her shin there. If for whatever reason we cut her leg off there, we'd see a cross section here. So, you know, kind of like this. And then here we'd see another one where her overalls or her leg kind of connects to her hips. We'd see the cross section here. And there's the same thing, you know, here, except in this case, the foot's not going away from us. It's not being angled downward like the leg is. It's just straight. So it appears a little bit bigger. And since I want this leg to also be just kind of straight, I think it will be larger. So I'm not actually sure if that's quite big enough. It's a little bit too meaty. Iofif's legs are pretty skinny. And it is going kind of behind her. So I want this to be a little bit closer to its actual size. Let me actually take a look and see if I can find some shots of the ladies jumping. What's going on with your legs there? Yeah, there we go. Yes, it will be a little bit smaller. Maybe that's a little bit too long. And like, I'm assuming that the other side of her hip, if this is one side and the other side is going to be like over here. So I'm trying to make it look connected. And this leg is going to practically vanish behind it. Or this part of her leg, I should say. Okay, so far so good. And then the foot, once again, we kind of get it at its actual size. And this one, I want it to be a little bit larger than this one, because this one is closer to us, because she is raising that leg. Do I have this high enough? I think something like this might be better. Okay, that's looking pretty okay. Looking pretty cute. I did make this layer a little bit larger, so I do think I have to kind of adjust the edge here. Get that ankle connecting. But I think something like that should be pretty good. This side looks so much better than this side. Okay, but no, that tells me I'm onto something. Because I actually do think that this side looks pretty alright. The thigh, is it big enough? Is it big enough? I don't know. I think I want to face her foot a little bit more this way, though. Actually, let me see. Am I going to see the heel? Much of it at this angle? I don't know. I'll think about it in a second. I think this is fine for now. Gotta figure out this one. But I do think having this one in place will help a little bit. I'm just asking myself, is it big enough? Is it big enough? Just derping around on Google Images again. Let me see. If I just take, like, all of this. What are you? Okay, you're the leg. This is what I get for not naming my layers, but, you know, it's fine. Just make it a little bit bigger. Oh, did I not get... Okay, that one did not get got. So I will select them all again. If I just make them all just like a little bit bigger. I don't know how this will connect yet, but I'll figure it out. Right now it's making her look a bit large in the back there, but it's okay. I'll fix it. Oh yeah, this actually seems pretty alright. Viewed from above, woman. Typically when I'm looking at perspective angles, I just literally type in the angle that I'm looking for, and I can generally find something. Okay. Yeah. I think that's pretty good. Let me shape this guy just a little bit. This guy suffered a little bit from this change. Because we're basically not gonna see this leg at all. I'm only showing the bare minimum of the implications here, so there we go. Okay, that looks a little bit more proportionate, I guess. Now I just gotta fix the spot over here. There we go. And then I just gotta figure out how her hips actually, like, connect to everything else here. Because this leg should be going straight down. And I keep going back and forth on whether it should be longer or shorter. Because it's like, man, perspective is hard. But I don't want to give up on it because perspective is cool. It'll make your stuff look so stylish. I guess I'll just sculpt around with Liquify for a little bit, see what happens. It's definitely better. Let's see here. What else we got? I just keep looking at Google Images to find something with the particular angles I need for certain things. Google and stock images are very, very convenient. But I haven't been able to find a good shot of one with seeing a leg from the side. And that's probably what's been throwing me off. This is like one of the better ones, and unfortunately her hand is covering her hips. So I can't see where the thigh comes out of her waist there. But I guess if I look a little bit more closely at what's going on here, we have the chest here, and my brain, you know, like everyone's brain, is a liar, and it lies to me all the time. And it's never more apparent than when I try to draw something. Because when I looked at this before, I was like, oh yes, she has a torso here. But I realize, now that I look at it from the side here and try to edit out her hand in my mind, that she actually really doesn't. It's like I know it's there, right? If I viewed her from the front, I would absolutely see kind of where her stomach is. But here, it's like we see the chest shape here, and then immediately, like, if I were to draw a curve here, I can't draw it in references in Krita, it would overlap where her chest is. But this is clearly her hips. Right? They're like, this is her hips. So her hips should be coming out from her chest, basically. Okay. I have cut my brain in the act, and now I can try to compensate for it. So let's try to get the chest shaped right here. This should probably be a little bit lower. Okay. Getting somewhere. Now that I know that I am not seeing the image for what it is, and in fact, I'm seeing that her chest here is overlapping with her hand. So that tells me that the other hip does indeed, like, how to say, yeah, it's kind of hard to describe what I'm seeing here, but it does mean that her hip is under the chest area, and that this is probably sticking out more than I feel like it should. So I shouldn't worry about making Yofi a little bit too busty here. That should be accurate to just how perspective works. And then we're gonna get rid of her torso because these do not exist at this angle. There are no tummies here. There we go. Make this part a little bit rounder just because it makes sense to me. Oh yeah, that actually looks 100 times better. Holy cow. Telling my brain to stop lying to me. Very effective. Gotta say things for what they are. And then I reconnect her hips here. And... okay, things are still a little bit off, but they're less off than they were, so I'll take it. Oh, man. Melted my brain for fun. Let's go. Let's go. Okay. I have not completely solved the mystery yet, but I still do not quite feel like her legs are under her. And that's probably because her chest is still not quite at the right angle. How exactly should her shirt be going up here? Like, you are not at nearly an extreme an angle as I have her at here. But nonetheless, I think you can help me. Alright. I don't know, does it do this? Like, if it wasn't gonna be hanging off her shoulder, and I just had her in a tank top. Is this how it would connect here? And actually, I do see a little part of your neck, so maybe... I just gotta push your head up a little bit higher. I don't know, I'll put it over here for now. And I will... Are you some head residue? No, you are not. Are you body residue then? What are you? There's like an extra piece of something here somewhere. Okay, it's on one of the body layers. Okay, it's shirt residue. Got it. Okay. So now we will turn your shirt into a tank top for a moment. See if I can make sense of where all of this will connect eventually. I will say that, you know, you just kind of gotta do what you gotta do in the early stages when you're kind of figuring out where things go. So, like, even though I know that this will not be the final form of her shirt, it does not have to be. And let's see, her side is not going down to quite that extreme here. And once again, she is at a slightly different angle, but I still think she can help me. I do. Okay. I don't know. Does she look kind of fat there? Maybe a little. Take off just a little bit here. Okay. I'm seeing it. I'll put a little bit more sleeve here. Help me show the curve of the arm. Her shoulder's gonna be here. And I found some random stock images of children cheering to help me try to figure out the arm. Do I have enough of the legs figured out to actually... I mean, it's better, but I still don't think it's quite right. Okay, but I do have a thought. This has nothing to do with proportion. This is just how I want her body to be connected a little bit. Okay, it ended up being a little bit about proportion, but basically, I was wondering if I transformed it a little bit, if it would look a little bit more like it's underneath her, and maybe a little. You pull the foot back out. The foot should be more the same size. Maybe it's just slightly smaller. Okay, her leg looks a little bit more underneath her now. I still don't feel like her hips are, though. Look, we're just gonna be jumping around a bit. It's fine. It's totally fine. So let's see. What do I got to do here in order to feel like her hips are actually going underneath her? Is this leg no longer connecting at the right spot? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. That was definitely the right idea for at least part of it. This leg just needed to be a little bit higher. I will also turn it a little bit more. I want it to turn that way. Yes, that way. We're gonna get those legs underneath her. Phew. Okay. Gotta let my brain rest for a moment. Okay. Gonna make this foot just a little bit smaller, but not a lot. Oh, my brain is getting its workout for today. Let's see, I kind of feel like her chest is maybe a little bit too large. At some point, I really would like to do proper studies for a perspective like this. But, you know, I can kind of feel my way through it for now. I've been feeling my way through a lot of the stuff that I do. And I feel like I've gotten rid of quite a lot of the twists that I had in her waist, which is unfortunate. But maybe it's for the best. I don't know, I'll try to put it back. I'll try to put some of it back. But yeah, someday I would like to do more formal studies of this kind of perspective. Someday. Just because I do think it would be cool to be able to draw some of this stuff fairly quickly. Okay. Let's erase a bunch of that. Where should our hips be? Probably like right around here. And that might be about as much as we see, actually. So I'll try to connect here, like roughly where her belly button and stuff is going to be. I think it's actually hidden. Where would it be on this lady? Like right there? Here? Probably about here, I would think. So on her, it's gonna be like right about there. Okay. The angle has changed a little bit. But I still think it has kind of a pleasant twist in there. And I still feel like a lot of the energy of the original pose is there. So I guess I can let myself simplify it a little bit. Just so I'm not here for 50 years flailing. Like, I am doing something new. And I kind of have to accept that maybe I cannot go from 0 to 100 immediately. As much as my brain likes to claim otherwise. Okay. So here's like her hip. I think that's pretty accurate. It's okay. Someday I will take her out of this tank top and jeans that I have her in, and I will actually put her character design on. And she won't be bald. Someday she will even not be bald. Okay. I feel like that's pretty well underneath her. And shave off the necessary corners underneath there. And then... I'll leave it like that for now. But on this one, the front part of the leg, it's going to be more like this at some point. Actually, you know what? The way I have this drawn, I'll leave the triangle there just because I think it is helping me. But, yeah, I can leave that light there. That also helps me, so I'll call that good. Okay. Can I get her other leg in now? Will her legs finally be attached? Maybe. That is a firm maybe. Okay. Front of the leg there. Thigh still feels like it's a little bit of a weird shape, though. So does it need to be longer or shorter? I'm gonna look at her thigh again. Part of me wishes I didn't decide to do this on 2 layers, but at the same time, I kind of needed it to be on 2 layers to understand it all better. Maybe I should just make these different colors. So I will invert the colors here for now. And then as this shape starts looking more and more correct, I can put them back together. And maybe that'll make it work out. Okay, this seems alright. Yeah. So this is making it a little bit easier for me to see, actually. And I will say that for the beginning of a picture, you just gotta do whatever you can to help get your ideas down. It doesn't matter what it looks like at this stage. I mean, pretty much all of my pictures at this stage look horribly mutant. If you look at any of my time-lapse drawings, any of them, and slow them down a lot, it's like, yeah, the beginning looks special. Okay, right now I'm just going to focus on getting the calf in the right place, which is going to be a little bit above her knee. And then I will get the size right, because I do think it needs to be a little bit shorter. There is a little spot where... it kind of goes into her ankle, so it gets a little bit thinner at the bottom here. And I think that's gonna be the next thing to figure out. Okay, let's put the foot down, see if that connects okay. It's getting there. I'm a lot closer than I was a few minutes ago. Let me actually put the colors back here. See how they meld together. Ooh. No, that doesn't look good, does it? Right now, it looks like I took her and, like... stretch her out this way. So maybe if I squish everything back this way, it'll be better. I mean, it doesn't work for the head, but maybe just for the body. And maybe just make everything just a little bit longer. That kind of has a similar effect. No, I think that made it worse, so... Is it skewed? You know, actually, maybe. No. Parts of it, maybe, but not all of it. Where the heck do I put this leg? Okay, I'm gonna... This leg looks fine, so we're going to hide this leg for a bit. And I actually think that her hips here are looking pretty okay, too. I'll figure out how to connect that leg in a second. I'm gonna go back to figuring out how to connect her other arm. Let's do that for a little bit. Let my brain melt over something else for just a little while. Okay. So... I think first I have to play the game of where does her head attach? Because it's looking like I might have it just a little bit too close here. And I wish her hair wasn't in the way, but looking at the way her shoulders connect here, it is very... like we don't see her back, but we kind of see where the shoulders meld into the back. So rather than like a straight line, let me find a layer I can actually draw on. So rather than a straight line, we're getting a curved line kind of like this, and then the head sits somewhere here. Okay. And it actually looks like the shoulder on the far side actually sticks out just a little bit more here. Okay. Draw this part. Okay, that's not bad. So yes, here we go. How to figure out poses, step 1. Tell your brain to stop lying to you. It is so much easier to actually do this when you see things for what they are, instead of what your brain knows that they should be. Because brains are lying liars, and they cannot be trusted. Don't blame them, though. They're just trying to help you out. You know, it's one of those little white lies where they know that if it was brutally honest with you all the time, you'd be so constantly overwhelmed by information that you wouldn't be able to do anything. So it takes shortcuts. It takes shortcuts. And these shortcuts are very useful for actually getting through day-to-day life. But they are not so useful when you are trying to draw something. They very much get in the way when you're actually trying to draw something. So I'm giving my brain a hard time, but you know, I can forgive it. It's doing its best. But it needs to stop lying to me while I'm trying to draw. Please, do not simplify bodies for me. but I am trying to draw them. I need all the information, all of it. Every single little scrap that I can get my hands on. Just trying to get this to go over the shoulder as I have it drawn here. Okay, there we go. I can kind of see it. Then I actually want this to be a little further this way, I think. And that should be... well, I guess the other layer I have is unnecessary now, which I am honestly fine with. And then, in theory, I should just be able to connect her hand to that, and it should look okay. Let's see here. I need this to kinda... There we go. Like, that looks very two-dimensional for the time being. I'll fix it, but... Yes, I think I will actually keep that, and then I will adjust the brush tip shape, because I think that's the main thing that's wrong here. So, liquefy sculpting. Liquefy sculpting. Keep that little black spot in the middle, so this way I know where the center of the brush is. Oh man, that is extremely forward. I think it looks pretty alright, though. And you know, it means I don't have to draw the hand. So, I'll take it. Because that hand was going to give me some trouble. Still gotta kind of round this out just a little bit here. Okay. And I will push you just a little bit further that way and do a little bit more sculpting again. Ah, liquefy tool, how I love you. Okay, where's the brush itself here? Here's the base. I kind of want to push you down a little bit. And maybe a little bit of rotation here. Okay. Maybe a little bit more. And then I want to kind of move this over just a little bit again. I'm just not sure if it's going to be clear what that is. As things stand. But I mean, that is, I think, roughly correct based on how I've drawn things so far. That doesn't mean I have to keep it like that, because I mean, if it's not clear, it's not clear. I have to... It is my job as the artist to try to figure out a way to make sure people actually understand what it is that I'm trying to show here. So I might have to pull some shenanigans with that, but at the very least, I do feel like her body is connected here. Even if it does look perhaps a little bit strange. Get the brush base on there. I'm gonna just squish it a little bit. No, that actually doesn't help me. Never mind, not squishing it a little bit. Probably need to see a little bit of the brush in her finger in order for it to be understood. Okay, but no, this reads. This reads, I think. Okay. Yeah. Wonkiness the hand aside. I think this is okay. The angle of her hand may not work anymore, so I might just have to pick a new hand pose, but, you know, that's fine. Maybe I can do something a little bit more like this. Oh, I should move the nail at the same time. So we have an index finger here. Make it a little bit bigger. And then instead of the thumb being behind everything, I just kind of bring it up here and connect it to the index finger. I don't know. Maybe something like that'll work. Maybe. I don't know. Looks fine for now. I'll keep it. I will go ahead and merge these together and connect it a little bit. Try to get some semblance of a wrist or something, I guess. It doesn't really have to make sense yet. And then we'll see like some indication of her other fingers kind of back here somewhere. I'll put like a little line there just so you can kind of see what's happening. And I'm still using neon green for the fingernails because, you know, why not? I'll fix their colors later. Just like this arm is still not an arm color. Okay, that seems alright, I guess. I feel like that's mostly connected to her. Maybe this lower part of her arm is still at a little bit of an awkward angle. Like, maybe instead I want it to do something like... Okay, what is... Where are these stray pixels? I don't want them. There were stray pixels somewhere, and I did not want to deal with them. Okay, it's probably from my doodling on the stock images. Okay, well now they should be gone. They're not. Okay, they're off screen then, so I guess I just live with it for now. Oh, are you not on the hips layer? What layer did I put you on then? Did I accidentally put you on the shirt layer? Because if I did, I should get you off of there. I did. Okay. No. Arm-related things do not belong on the shirt layer. I do not want these things to be on the same layer because they affect each other too much. And I would like to be able to move them independently more easily. You know. Case in point, I'm literally doing it right now. Okay, rather than liquefy, gotta grab a little arm stump here and rotate it. We are going to raise up that arm here. Oh yeah, look how nice that looks. And then I just change the angle where things are supposed to connect. And I do want to draw it, even though it will never show up in the final piece, because it will make it easier for me to picture. And at this point, picturing what it is that I'm trying to do is the single most important thing, because holy hell, this pose is hard. Okay, but I can see it. I can see it. Look at how visible that is. And this time I actually think it's like pretty obvious and not just like, okay, it makes sense to me, and maybe it'll make sense to you guys someday, but no, I think this is actually pretty clear what's going on here. Even if it is just a silly little arm stub. Alright. Oops. Oh yeah! It is almost properly connected. But it is so much closer than I was even just a minute ago. The armpit, I feel like, is still off. That's the main thing. Okay. But I'm gonna leave it right there for now, and I'm going to go back to figuring out how the head connects to her shoulders. Like I said, I feel like we actually do see a little bit of neck on this one. So maybe, perhaps, I should go back to my body layer, which is now called hips for reasons. I will... Actually, I'm just going to use a regular skin tone here. No, I lied. The darker one's easier to see. Okay. We'll use the darker one. And I am going to put some more shading on this. This way, hopefully, I can kind of see what I'm doing here. And one, figure out what's going on with the armpit. And two, figure out what's going on with the neck. Those are the immediate goals here. Okay. So in theory, she should have a neck, like, connecting to her ear here. In theory, I say. You never know with anime, if I'm being real. Necks in anime are kind of weird. Just because you have to make them super thin. Yeah, in fact, I don't actually think that having a little bit of neck there looks especially great. I do think I need a little bit, but... And this part will probably be covered up by hair. But nonetheless, I do think it'll be useful for actually figuring out structure. So that is why we are going to keep it. And let's go ahead and put a little neon green where I think the neck is going to be. So I think this is her neck. And I will just cover that up with dark color when the time comes. But for now, to help me with structure, it's going to be neon green. Thus declares me. Okay. Once again, I'm going to try to push her shirt over here and try to get that strap over her shoulder. Help me picture the location of her shoulder and stuff. I feel like this is one of those things of just never give up. Because step by step, I am getting closer and closer to actually figuring out this pose and getting it right. Just gotta break it down. Break it down, flail, scream at the sky, you know, whatever you gotta do. There has definitely been more than one occasion where I do indeed scream at the sky. It can be a little bit cathartic sometimes. Okay. Finish attaching this little guy. There we go. I think that's looking pretty alright. Okay. Now then, back to the quest of figuring out where the armpit is. I think it's like right here. No, it's gonna be like facing toward us. It's gonna be more like this. Yes. I guess that's fine. I can kind of see where it is, and I think I have the arm facing mostly the right direction. It's going to be covered up with hair, right? Oh, no, it actually isn't. Maybe I should fix that. Make my life a little bit easier. Okay, but I think that's fine for now. Does this arm still look good? The back arm, I think so. I'm going to rotate him just a little bit and try to more properly connect it to the shoulder. But its size and general location, I think, looks fine. Okay. Now then, to figure out why she still looks a little bit thick. It's definitely related to her side right here. I'm looking at Our Lady over here. And she's at a little bit of a different angle, so I can't completely trust it. Like, Iofi here is turning more this direction. The center on this lady is like here. Whereas the center on Iofi is like here. Angles very different. But nonetheless, I do think that this lady can help me. Let's connect this shadow up into her armpit area here. This represents her side. So I should make through here a little bit straighter. Because like this whole area is one plane and this is a different plane. And then this is sitting on top. So this is her side. This is her front. Yes. Okay, looking a little bit less thick now. I'll have to figure out where some of these other colors are coming from. Okay, it is the hips layer. Oh yeah, that actually makes sense. Of course it's going to be the hips layer. I forget that the shirt and the hips layer are not the same. I forgot for a moment. Okay, and then I think I want here to be a little bit larger, and then over here to just come in a little bit more. Still kind of feeling it out. Where's, like, if I turn this into a rectangle, where's the edge? It's like over there, right? Okay, now you, lady. How does your tummy look? Once again, I do wish that I had a reference with tighter clothes. Like maybe a nice leotard or something. Okay, okay. Let me give her just a little bit more meat on that side. Okay. How's she doing? I'm gonna give her hair back. And I do think that I will let the hair cover up some parts that I don't want to draw. So that'll be like over here. And I will put her side hair back afterward. There we go. Cover up the armpit a little bit, and then I will take the side hair that I moved there, and we will plop it back over here where it belongs. Oops, I have the layer locked. It goes over here. It frames her face, right? Gonna check her character design here. Yes, it does. So yes, like right about there. Just to cover her ears. Kinda. I decided to push the hair that would cover her ears out here instead, and I think I'm okay with that. We'll get a little bit of ear coverage here just for a little bit of extra flippiness in the hair. Assuming I can get my stroke right. Yeah, that should be fine. I'll go ahead and shape it just a little bit. And I want a little bit of shadow color on this, so I'm going to go ahead and pick one. So as always, just kind of setting my brush to a dark purple and overlay, and then I'm grabbing a color. Alright, I think that should be good. And then I'll just go ahead and dump some shadows where I think they'll look good. Gotta be, like, super messy, but it will make her hair a little bit more visible to me. Just kinda get all the various clumps and stuff. Okay, that should be good. Okay. This is on a different layer. I don't feel like hunting it down right now, so I'm gonna leave it there, and... Is it time to do more hips, or am I satisfied with her torso finally? I don't think I quite am. I think she might be a little bit too skinny now. So let's pull her stomach out here just a little. Just a little. Is that a little better? I think so. It's not like super round like I feel like it should be anymore, but I do think that is okay. And I will relocate all of her leg-related things. Be in a better spot. Just a little further forward here. Okay. Now I revisit the hips. Again. I will never be free. That's okay. Once I get this leg underneath her, I feel like the hardest part will be done. But it's like, increasingly, I can see where the leg is supposed to come out. I'm going to try to turn this into a square again. Give it some sharper angles here. Let's see, where should the front of the leg be? Like, probably here, and then this is the side. Yes, this is the side, this is the front. And I do think it is facing something like this direction. And then this is where her hips will be when the time comes. Let's go try to attach that lower leg. And I still think this leg is looking all right. I still think that leg's looking all right. So, hopefully I can figure out the angle of this, more, I guess, forward-facing leg. The one going straight down. Well, I just completely dislocated this leg here. Alright, lady, show me your legs again. How would your legs look normally? So we kind of have the thigh shape here, and then it's just squashed, right? So squashed heavily, and then like this. And then I attach it, in theory. So maybe if I'm gonna clear this, if I draw a normal thigh, it's gonna be massive. But we pretend like this is a front view for a moment. I draw it like this. Actually, with the way that I have her hips angled, I draw it a little bit more like this. And it would look like that. So now I make it a little bit skinnier because that's super thick. I make it a lot shorter. We rotate it a bit that way. Then I grab the perspective. We drop it down. A lot. Like a lot. I try to reconnect it. It's at least not looking dismembered. Okay. And then I guess I try to connect it on this side. Maybe. Or maybe what I do. Like, where's her knee gonna go? Like her knee's gonna be facing that way. So, like, if I drew a knee, I'll use this color. It would be kind of like this. Yes. I swear, I just cannot connect this leg. Normally that would mean that there's like a problem with how I have some other aspect of the pose, but I don't know what. Maybe it's just because I need to squish her hips back in just a touch. Okay, that actually might help. Yeah, I actually do think that helped. Okay, cool. I will take it. Okay. But man, does that still look super thick. Like, come on, she's got these really skinny legs. I do not want to make her super ultra thick here. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put some light color on this, just to figure out where that's gonna sit. Okay, that seems fine. So yes, I think I can kind of keep what I have here. Let's just connect them here a little bit better. Alright, I'm gonna get rid of my knee placeholder. This way I can actually see her entire leg here. Maybe? Let's see how it connects with the other parts of her leg this time. Okay, this seems promising. Yeah, this seems promising. And then let me go ahead and put where the side of her leg is here. We have the front over there. And then here we have the front over here. Oh, you didn't lock properly. There we go. Yeah, we had the front over here. Front here, and then I go to the good leg that is working with me. And we kind of put it a little bit more underneath here. And I think you need to go a little bit higher up here. And then maybe you need to be just a little bit skinnier. Okay, let's give her her foot. Where's her foot relative to, like, her calf there? We actually don't really see the back. So I will draw it like this. Yes. Gonna erase some of the back here, and I hope that does it. Very question mark, but let's take a look. Let's zoom out. I feel like I'm extremely close, but this leg still just does not look like it is connecting right. I'm gonna flip it. Try to get a little bit of fresh perspective here. I don't know, will it work if I make the foot a little bit smaller? Because I feel like it's not that far off. Is it shape of her tummy? Do I need to make this a little bit rounder? Kinda let this side recede into the back a little bit more. No. Tummy is fine. Okay, this thigh. I think you need to go just a little bit further back here. And then I want to make you a little bit less thick at the top here. And the foot is a little bit big. Okay, that also helped a little bit. It's here. And maybe here. That's where things are not quite lining up. How's the head? Is the head too big? Or is it good? Maybe a little bit too big. I'm gonna actually hide her hair again. So that this way I can see everything. Like, I don't know, when I look at her head, it's like really huge. So I don't think my head is that large. I guess that's a little bit better, and then gonna take a look at, like, various landmarks that I know about. Unfortunately, the clothing kind of hides a lot of it. So let's say the bottom of her fingertips here. Those are gonna fall to like her mid-thigh. So at this point, this is like mid-thigh territory right here. Okay. I have another thought. Just gotta think about it. Alright, I'm gonna grab all of these layers. And I'm going to rotate them a little. We're going to raise them up a little. And I'm going to make them a little bit skinnier. No. Okay. The rotation was fine. The skinniness was not. Okay, I'm gonna go take a look at Google again and see what it has for me. How's this arm? I think that arm's pretty okay. The image that I had up there was one that I was taking a look at for that arm specifically. Okay, so let's see if I can find one where the legs are a little bit more clear. So this time I'm adding jump into my keywords and seeing if there's anything good there for me. Man, perspective is terrifying. Okay. I'm finding some things that are similar, but don't quite answer the question that I have. Not quite. But it's okay. I'm really determined to figure out her legs today. I feel like if I don't have everything else, it's quite close. I don't know. Should I just hold the whole thing down? Is that better or worse? I guess it's a little better. I guess it's a little better. That gives me a clue as to the shape of the problem, at least. I think I want both these layers again, and I am going to tuck things in. We are going to turn her leg a little. I can't tell. Is that better or worse? I guess it's a little better. I guess it's a little better. Once again, I need to use like all my brain power here, so gonna figure this out. Today I am determined. I am very determined to figuring out the secret here. The last little bit that's just eluding me. The last little bit that is just eluding me. Okay, I think that actually has some merit. Let me lift this guy up just a little bit here. But maybe this side actually was just a little bit too high up. Let's see, reference images are being a little bit distracting, so I'm gonna go move them over a little bit. You know, when I first decided to draw this, I was like, you know, we can do a fairly simple little thing, just do some minimalism and do a simple little pose and all that, and then this happened. And then this happened. Adjust her jawline just a little. This happened and I decided that I wanted to melt my brain. But you know, these things happen. I like being a little bit adventurous, so it's fine. Let's try to get the back of her head looking a little bit nicer here. I'll probably need to adjust her hair as well. But now that I'm seeing it, right here is just a little bit off. I kind of wanted to line up with her mouth and nose a little bit better. There we go. That is a little bit better. Gosh, every time I look at it, I'm just like, it's so close. It is so close, but there is just something that is not quite right. And I just cannot always identify it. And it's annoying. Something is just always a little bit off. And it's like I can feel it. I can feel the offness. But I cannot always identify its location. And I think that is always like the worst. Because, like, it's... Are they too low? Maybe? Like, if I just take the big old liquefy brush and just shove everything upward, will it look better? Unironically, yes. It does look a little bit better like this. Let's try here. And then I think the angle that I have it at here wants things to be going this way a little bit more. So I will continue sculpting with liquefy. Okay, now that this seems alright. This comes further over this way. The center is here, so I kind of want the center of the shirt to be shaped there. Okay, I'll pull out over here a little bit. Push this in. Up here should definitely be wider. Now I tuck in her torso a little bit more. Like I said, on this lady, she doesn't really have a torso. It is hiding. My brain is just lying to me because she knows that lady does in fact actually have a torso. It's just we can't really see it at this angle. Okay, I think that's a little bit too skinny, so I'm gonna pull out over here just a touch. I'm gonna keep that because I do think it looks much better. I'll pull out this side just a little bit too. Keep sending this a little bit further over. Raise the side up a little as her shoulders are going this way. Whereas, you know, these ladies, that's not how it is, so I just gotta kind of picture that in my head. Okay. Now let's go back to just reattaching these things. So right, this side should kind of attach to her tummy a little. There are occasional times where I feel like, that was like one step forward, two steps back. Okay. Well, let's take a look and see if I can identify where the problems are this time. Random beer belly, I accidentally gave her a side here. It's okay, that's the kind of thing that Liquify does. Okay, just trying to identify the shape here to kind of help me out. And the side is going to continue from over here. Like... oh, I'll go put this in shadow too, just to try to make it make sense to me. This side should be higher. Okay, I think that looks pretty alright. Let's go ahead and tuck her tummy back in down here. She's, of course, not going to have much of one, so I feel like this is still showing a little bit too much. Because the lady in the green shirt made it quite clear to me that I should not show very much of this. What does her side look like anyway? I do wish it was not covered by her hand. That is the biggest complaint about that stock image that I have right now. I guess I'll get rid of the twist for now. Make the pose a little bit easier to understand. Let me make her shoulders look a little bit nicer too while I'm over here. So they like come out back here. And then they're round right there. And then I can kind of get the shirt here to wrap around her shoulder here real quick. Okay, yep, I see it. I do. how should her side look here? Basically, so you know when you draw a box or something in perspective, you kind of got those little doohickeys going off on the side here. I'm trying to figure out how the size of this plane here. So I'm picturing her torso here like a box, and this is the shape of the box right now, because it is extremely in perspective. So we see a ton of the top. And so now I'm trying to figure out how to actually connect the side. Obviously, that was a mess, but that's the idea. So I'm just trying to figure out how to connect the side. This is maybe where a perspective grid would help, but I wouldn't know how to use it, so there's not much point. That's just something I kind of got to study on my own here. Or, you know, maybe off stream at some point if I am still struggling to figure out the proportions here and the perspective, that maybe I just, you know, take one of these ladies on the side here and draw them. As just a quick study. Like that might make sense to do. Okay, that seems accurate, but her side, something about it still feels off. Okay. Maybe the answer is I make the perspective just a little bit less extreme. So we give her a little bit of a torso. And I make her leg a little bit larger. At some point, I just gotta get something down. And if I can't make sense of what I want to do, then, you know, just find a close second. And then I can level up my skills further and try that pose again some other time. Okay. Let's go ahead and I will hide the problematic leg and try to draw things at this angle, which is slightly different than what I was doing before. So I think here we would see a little bit more of where her legs meet. So like this. And this is the front here. This will be the front of her leg. I think this faces a little bit more that direction. Okay, and then I will connect this to her waist here. No, I'll just go in and draw the leg on this layer. Stop switching between layers. It's driving me nuts. Okay, and front of the leg here. I do not think that this is shaped correctly, but that is okay for now. Let's see, the other leg is now going to be at a slightly different spot because her hips are at a slightly different spot. Yeah, a little bit further forward like that. Okay, we'll shape this part here. Have it follow the rest of her body a little bit better. After all, hips are just the triangle under the body, and that makes sense to me. So I'm just kind of drawing it as a triangle underneath the body here. And then this is super thick, so I would like to kind of make it a little bit less thick here. I might need to adjust her side just a little bit here. Okay, that seems all right. I'll just connect here. We'll make this leg a little bit longer than I otherwise would have. Or longer than I did when I was trying out the other pose. Okay, and then the side of her leg should continue a little further. How do legs connect to each other again? So that actually might be part of my problem too. I don't think that it connects quite like that. We'll still have the thigh gap in that area. Iofifteen is quite large. So I probably actually wanted to connect like this, and that might have been part of what was making her legs seem extremely thick when I was trying to do before. Still add a little bit of perspective. Make the triangle a little bit less pointy there. Still not satisfied with the general shape of this. Let's get it a little bit more underneath her. It's just a little bit less extreme, but I mean, there's still perspective there. It's still pretty extreme perspective. Okay. And this will be a little bit longer. Actually, that's not the part that I want to make longer. I do want this to be bigger, though. And then the way that I want to pull this around, I will just use liquefy on the kind of ankle part. We'll pull it out. It's going to be super pointy, but that's okay. I can fix it. This is at least straightforward to fix. There we go. Draw the ankle. The calf, I think, will come out just a little bit lower. Be a little bit longer. And then I touch the foot. Still no. Do I just take the whole thing and use a perspective transform to kind of expand the bottom? I really can't do that anymore. It'll mess with the head too hard. How about the body? Can I just do it on the body? No, definitely not. What about just making you longer? The neck's not the right place anymore. I'll have to move it. But everything else, I don't know. That seems could be worse. Could be worse, yeah. Let me get a before and after here. Yeah, it could be worse. Let me get rid of that neck because, man, it is so wrong now. It is so wrong, and it's going to throw me off in proper placement here. And now I feel like all of the energy from the pose is gone. I'm so sad. Okay, let's at least try to fix it. I think I can fix it just by arching where her back and hips kind of connect. And I guess I'll attach it to her head for now. No, I really can't. I have to do it relative to her legs. We'll attach it to her head after. So it's gonna look a little funny for a second. A little bit more. Then I want to grab her legs and just do something similar. We'll attach him over here. Give her a nice little jump. Okay, let's go ahead and attach him to the body to her head again. Okay, got some of the energy back. I consider that the most important thing. I definitely... Oh, man. If I give up all the energy in the pose just to fix proportions, like, that is not okay to me. It's just so unbelievably sad when that happens. But my god, I just cannot figure out the proportions here. Cannot. Okay. Be thicker. Be larger. It's getting to the point where I question if I should start over. I'd rather not. It's like I'd really like to be able to make this one work, because I think it's a good idea. Okay, I need to push the arm back, because it got knocked around a bit by all those changes. Wait, why did you get cut off there? Why did you get cut off there? Can't have that. There we go. Alright, let's reattach the arm here. It's not fully attached, but it is good enough. Back arm down here. Head needs to come a little bit back to the side. There we go. This shoulder is now completely in the wrong spot from all that. And I am afraid that I'm adjusting things too much and I'm just going to lose the pose energy again and be sad. But so far so good. So far, so good. Let's go ahead and try to push her legs down a little bit here. Actually, now we hide the legs. And I try to find where these legs are going to go with the kind of new angle I've got here. So that means kind of starting over on... Oh, I should get my colors. But yeah, kind of starting over on here. So with the way it's going now, it's more like this. We get the triangle on the hip here. Or the triangle that will be the hip here. Pull it up to the side. There we go. We see the side of it now. And then the leg will like connect here. Go ahead and do this with a lighter color. Yeah. Like that. And there's the other half of the thigh. Kind of her backside there. This leg is too thick. I'm still trying to put perspective on things, but I'm just like, no brain, accept simplified version. It's okay. Someday, we will figure out the more complex things. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Perspective is very high on my list of things to practice now. Okay, so there's the start of that leg. I'm gonna go ahead and get this leg going here. The hip is now more like right here, I think. And we also probably see a little bit more of this leg than we did before. So a little bit more like that. I'll just go ahead and use the dark color to fill in the rest there. Fix her leg. Okay, I'm gonna actually fix her arm before I do any more. Just because I think that this will drive me slightly insane if I do not. And since this is slightly less from a topward angle, her head also needs to come up a little, and I can't really fix her shoulders until I do that, so... Hello there, Yudgy Kitty. I am dying. Perspective is hard. Okay, let's grab the shirt now. Attach it to the rest of her body there. Okay. Oh no. Well, I hope you feel better soon. Okay, attaching her arm here, and I think that's probably fine for now. We'll have to fix the strap. Well, I wouldn't think an orange lollipop would have any orange in it. I guess it might have some orange zest, so maybe. But probably not any actual, like, orange. Those things are basically just caramelized sugar, so... So you have mentioned. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and grab both of these layers and put a little bit more arch in her back here. It's like if I gotta change the pose, I at least gotta change it to something I like, right? Very important. So I think I can still at least get the general idea down. But, perhaps I am not quite ready for the extreme perspective. I must level up my art skills a little bit more before I can pull that off. I'm gonna try again. I'm definitely gonna try again someday. Okay. Let's go ahead and round this up a little. I think I want this part of her torso facing a little bit further to the right. Just let her spin a little bit more effectively here. So I'll keep sculpting with liquefy. It's very helpful. I swear I have liquefied this poor girl so hard. I'm gonna go ahead and clear my references here because I do not think that they are quite as accurate as they used to be, since I'm changing things so much. Which also means that this foot doesn't necessarily have to be under that leg quite so hard. I think I'm okay with it being like that, though, but the angle that would indicate is now different. So I'll have to think about that one. Let's see, the arm, I think I need to fix again. I just want to figure out her legs, though. So we're just gonna hide this for now, and I'll do just the barest bit of messing around with that. Oh, wait, are you not on hips layer? Okay, no you are. Just get the bare minimum I need to make the stub make sense. Stub is now a dark color again. That's fine. Okay. There we go. I still know where her shoulder is. Oh shoot, I did that. Oh, that in the shirt layer. I did not mean to. Okay. We will put this on the correct layer. And then go fix her shoulder. Okay, and I think I want to pull her head up a little bit more. Perhaps we will let her actually have a bit of a neck. The head is now very large compared to what I think it should be with the angle change. So let's go ahead and shrink that down into something sensible. Gonna go ahead and tilt it back a little bit too. Let it kind of follow her torso a little bit. A little bit more. And kind of using the shoulders and the distance between her head and her chest as a guide here. Still a little bit sad I couldn't figure out that one angle, but you know what? I can do this one. I think this one will be easier. Alright, let's give her a neck. Right there. Is that right? I don't actually think it is. Where should you be, head? How far back do I want you to arch? Because, yeah, like, I obviously can't put you over here. Yes, she's now holding her head. Let me go draw where I think the neck should be. That might make this a little bit easier, because everything's going to be very different now, so I need to kind of put everything into place here. We're not seeing her quite so far from above, but still a little bit, so let's, I need this color. Neck kind of like this. And then this shoulder is up. Draw that a little bit better. And I actually think I need to raise this a little. There we go. Okay, and the neck needs to be a little bit further over, but I want to kind of finish shaping her shoulder here. Neck, I think, should be like here. I still want to add the kind of the little circle where I'm going to attach the head. It's going to be like here. I do not think that angle is entirely accurate, but that's fine. It just needs to be accurate enough to give me an idea on where some of these things need to go. Maybe a little bit more neck right there. Okay. This seems okay. Let's go ahead and put a head on it. Her head might also still be a little bit large. Just based on the shoulders there, that's... no, a little bit too small. A little bit too small there, and... proportions. In case you're wondering, this is exactly why I'm kind of practicing getting proportions down quickly off stream. Because, I mean, to be fair, most of this was just me trying very hard to figure out a very difficult perspective. But nonetheless, I still don't feel like I'm very good at it, and I think it's the biggest thing I can do to speed up how fast I draw. And I would love to draw faster for you guys. This way I can draw more pictures. But I mean, it's working. It's like I've been able to put out 2 of those heads a week for a little while. And that's pretty fantastic. And that was even with me slowing down because I had some stream assets to draw last week too. So it's okay, the progress is there. It is. It's just not always as fast as I like. I'm just a little impatient. I want to get good, like, right now. I want to be good, like, last week. But unfortunately, these things take time, and I have to wait, and I hate waiting. But I'll get there. You know, I'm probably going to do a few more heads, and then after a while, I'm going to want to start incorporating bodies. And that will be a good day. And then once I get the hang of that, I should be able to do many more things. And that will be an even better day. That will be an even better day, if I do say so myself. Okay, and at this angle, I do believe that this shirt actually kind of curls around like this. Gotta get it kind of around the armpit there. Okay. Let's just make the shape of her tummy nice here. This is not perspective-y, this is just nice shapes. Things that will just look very pleasant. Okay. Now I'm going to hide everything that I drew. And I'm going to give myself a quick leg stencil here. So this is where the pants are going to start. And then we'll have this one kind of connecting on the back side here. So, you know, something like that. We're gonna make it a nice triangle. And then her waist will kind of branch out into her hips like this. And of course, this will be entirely behind her. The center is like right there, so that means with the twist that I want to have, that the center will be a little bit further to the side over here. And that is the first thing I need to find. So we'll give her the drawing underwear look. So this leg is still going to be a little bit behind her. I'm probably going to erase all of this, so that's why I'm not being super particular about that. Gosh, that leg, or that thigh, is still super hyper thick. I do not know why I cannot draw legs today. I mean, to be fair, I do think legs are hard, but I don't think that they're this hard. And then we'll have a foot. It's going to be pointing kind of that direction, so I'll draw it like that. I do feel like I need a little bit of perspective on there in order to do what I want. Maybe that's my problem. I keep insisting on doing perspective things. Okay. I'm gonna try again. So, we have a center line. It's coming down here like this. But I want there to be a slight twist, so the center line is probably actually a little bit more like this. I'm just gonna walk myself through this step by step. I want the legs to be going down. So kind of like that. Center is still here. I'm going to do it the center in dark now. Let me draw a belly button on her. That also tends to help. Belly button, like, right there. But now I don't have the dark overalls color. I think I still have it here. Yes, I do. On all of my various leg attempts. Look, I tried really hard to get that pose to work. I liked that pose. That pose is fantastic. Okay, so we're gonna go out. Gonna find the center here. It's gonna be in the dark line. It's kind of going over like this. And we got some hips here. And this side is dark. Okay. Messily drawn, but that's okay at this stage. Okay, that's going to be kind of where the legs connect here. So we have hips coming out, and then they're going to go back in. Turn into a leg. I want her leg to come down. Kind of like this. We're going to try to keep things as simple as I can. Let's see, I want to turn this a little bit more. I want it to be like straight underneath her. I still feel like that thigh is super thick. Let's go ahead and make that a little bit less triangular. Okay. And the other leg is going to be kind of coming out here. I'll go ahead and... No, I'll do him in light. It's just coming out. It's going to be overlapped a little by the other leg, I think. Yes. Yes. So I should be having something kind of like this, where this leg overlaps the other one. I'll go ahead and do it in dark then. And it comes down here like this. We're going to make it a nice triangle. There will be a foot. It is pointing that way. So I'm using the flat side to denote the heel, the triangular side to denote the toes. And this is not proportionate yet, but that's okay. I'll get it there. Let's... There's still something I don't understand about how this leg connects. That is probably where my problem lies. We are seeing the side of the leg. So I'm going to go ahead and draw the calf. It's fine if it's large and exaggerated. Then I will draw a foot. Foot's going to go... It's facing this way. The toes will be pointing upward. And it's fine. I can pull all this apart as I need and separate it into different layers. I think the thigh needs to be a little bit longer. But I can kind of see it now. There's a nice little calf. We have a thigh. The knee is going to be like right here. I'll go ahead and put a little bump there for it for now. Okie dokie. Give her a little bit of hip there. Okay. I am going to erase this part and go back to the leg that I have drawn, but I think that this is okay. This is looking a lot better. Maybe it needs to be just a touch longer. Unfortunately, I really do feel like I lost a lot of the energy of the pose, and I am still a little bit sad about that. It did look a lot better with the cool perspective, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Someday I will get good. I promise you. And then I will do all the cool things. Okay, we will make this nice and triangular the way I want. And that does mean I'm gonna have to pull some shenanigans with like this weird fleshy spot, but that's alright. I will probably have to redraw a lot of that. Foot needs to be a bit larger now. Actually, you know what? I'm actually kind of okay with this leg kind of going into the back still, now that I think about it. It's just going in a different direction. She's like, spinning around on her heel, so I think this kind of thing actually still makes sense. This needs to be longer, though. She's just swinging her foot backwards. She's just swinging her foot backwards. We have like a calf here, and this is going to get narrow. We're going to go and at least do a little bit of cool perspective. Let me at least have a small taste of my dream. Okay, that should be fine. And foot. Okay, and I do think her torso is a little bit too small now. So I will stretch that out just a touch. Where is the shirt layer? Here we are. I'll just use my good old friend, the liquefy tool, to pull her tummy down a little. Okay, and then I will grab all of her body layers and the head, and we will... Okay, there we go. Just pull that up a little bit, make her torso just a little bit longer. Nope, I had it better before. Okay, never mind. I had it right the first time. And I need to do a little bit of work on the arm still, but this looks okay. I can still have this part working out for me. And let's see, is there anything that I can do to make the pose just a little bit more energetic? I'm probably gonna have to redraw large swaths of the hair, but that's okay. Because right now it feels a little bit boring. Okay. Okay, no, I know what to do. I need to clear some of my old leg layers because, man, scrolling through all this is a pain and it is terrible. So let's go ahead and remove some of these. It's okay. They have served their purpose. Okay. These three can stay. And then we'll take this, and I think I can, like, do something like this. And I do think that they need to be a little bit larger. And this thigh is a little bit too long now. So I will, yeah, I'll grab all three of these layers, tuck them back in. We will push this thigh out a little bit more. And just pull these a little further back. Let it be super triangular. Okay, okay. It's a little bit more interesting. And then I think the next bit that I can do to make it a little bit more interesting is I'm going to grab both her body layers again, and I'm going to do that thing with the liquefy tool where I try to arch her back a little bit further. So that means the tummy will come down a little. Her hair is in the way again, and I'm probably going to redraw a lot of that because it's not working for me anymore. Okay. I'm gonna grab her body and head layer, and I'm going to cut her in half again. And we're just gonna grab everything, and actually I need the arm layer too. I'm gonna rotate her a little bit more strongly. I don't know, do I like this? Do I like her, like, bending, flipping backward? Not really, actually. Maybe just a little bit more. I don't know. Let's bring it the other direction just to see what it looks like. Okay, just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. I'm still just a little bit sad that I feel like something has been very much lost with what I was going for before, and I miss it. I miss it already. But it's okay. I'll do my best to try to get something that feels good here. I need this leg to go higher, maybe. Nah, I think I actually want it a little bit lower. Yeah, I think so. I'll send that leg a little further back. Okay, I'm gonna try to get a little bit of spinning energy back into this. And I think it's coming back. Let me move the paint splash over a little and... Okay, let me fix the hair up a little and see if that brings some of the spinning energy back. If I have the hair actually looking nice again. Actually, I'm going to invert the colors. And I will take the darker one there. I'm just going to... Oops. Worry about the side hair here. I think the little bit framing her face is fine. So... this is just going to be the long strands kind of going down the side of her face here. Yeah, something like that. I'm not sure why my brush has been weirdly blobby lately. That just gets some of that going around her head here. Okay. Re-invert it and... you know what? This seems okay. This seems alright. Not quite what I wanted, but I think it's alright. And at the very least, this seems mostly proportionate. And I was able to figure that out in, what, 20 minutes? Much easier than what I was trying to do before. So next time I can start getting her clothes right, I can, like, cut out the various parts of her legs and start turning that to things, and I still got some fun perspective. I still got the stuff I got going with the brush here. And we'll have the nice little paint streak kind of spinning around her too. And that should look pretty nice. We still got a little dance in there. So I think I can be happy with this, and then I'll have some various other little paint splashes there. And you know what? With it like this, I might be able to go back to minimalism. So maybe I'll do that. We'll see next time. The science never stops. I'm gonna go ahead and hide that though, but there we go. I think this is where I'll be stopping for today. Positives and negatives. Negatives, no weird perspective. Positives. Well, this is going to be an easier to read silhouette, so I might be able to do minimalism and do my original plan. Just going back and forth. For those of you that doubt the power of thumbnails, this is where a thumbnail would have helped me very much. But to be fair, my issues were not composition issues. They were just... I lacked the skills to do the kind of perspective I wanted. I will practice. I know exactly what to practice now. So. But yes, thumbnails to help you figure out composition will stop you from having to go through all these rigmarole and shenanigans to try to figure out the composition of your piece. So... worth doing sometimes. Sometimes I do like to just go in and see what happens, but sometimes, yeah, definitely worth doing a little bit of pre-planning. But I will go ahead and stop here, so thank you all for coming. And I hope you're able to make something wonderful today. I will see you all tomorrow.